Good morning, friends. So our Passover story for today is called The Best Four Questions. And I'm wondering if some of you might be asking the four questions at your Seder meal. Let's see what happens in this story. We have a main character. I forget her name. Let's see. Oh, Marcy is our main character. Let's see what Marcy finds out. Passover's almost here, said Marcy excitedly. Yes, Daddy said. So let's clean up all these breadcrumbs. And tomorrow night, Marcy, it will be your turn to ask the four questions at the Seder. Hey, that's my job, said Jake. Well, the youngest person at the Seder gets to ask the four questions, Jake, said Daddy. Now that Marcy's learned how to read, it's her turn to ask them. Ugh, she'll mess it up, grumbled Jake. Marcy remembered her brother asking the four questions at the Seder last year. The grown-ups all said they were really proud of him. Marcy was sure she could do a great job with the four questions. After all, she knew a lot about questions. She asked them all the time. Why does that man have hair in his ears? Can I have a pet elephant? Are we there yet? Asking four questions on Passover would be easy, thought Marcy, and hers would be the best ones ever. I'll help you learn them, said her mother. But Marcy didn't want help. Can't I do it by myself? She asked. That's one question already. Marcy grinned and skipped off to her room. A little later, Marcy called out, should I wear my ruffled dress or the one with polka dots? Will Aunt Jessica be there? Can I bring my hamster? Do I need a sweater? Enough questions, said her mother. It's time to get ready for the Seder. But Marcy was getting ready. Can't you see I'm working on my questions? She asked. At Grandma and Poppy's house, Marcy thought of more questions. Is that the Seder plate? What's on it? Can I carry it to the table? Grandma handed her the beautiful Seder plate and pointed to one of the little dishes. This is the horseradish. We call it maror. And this is the haroset, made with apples and nuts. And here's a bone, an egg, and a sprig of parsley. Poppy sat at the head of the table with a big, cushy pillow on his chair. Daddy opened his Haggadah to begin the Seder. Marcy wiggled in her seat, waiting for her big moment. Finally, it was time for the four questions. Poppy smiled. Are you ready, Marcy? See what she does. How many matzo balls are in Grandma's chicken soup? Why does Uncle Benji always fall asleep during the Seder? Are worms kosher for Passover? Is horseradish made from horses? Marcy beamed and looked around the table. But her mother's mouth dropped open and Grandma scratched her head. Poppy was chuckling. What kind of questions are those? Asked Jake. You're supposed to ask the ones in the Haggadah. Marcy turned as red as the Seder wine and sank down into her chair. Oh, she was embarrassed. You know, said Poppy thoughtfully, I've always wondered how many matzo balls there are in Grandma's chicken soup. And if I know Jake's eating habits, added Daddy, we should probably find out if worms are kosher for Passover. Everyone took turns answering Marcy's excellent questions. There are 24 matzo balls in a pot of my chicken soup, said Grandma. And horseradish is a spicy vegetable, not part of a horse, said Aunt Jessica. Worms aren't kosher anytime, said her mother. Plus, they're just plain gross. And I do not fall asleep at the Seder, huffed Uncle Benji. But sometimes I just rest my eyes a little bit. Then Poppy said maybe Marcy would like to read the four questions from the Haggadah now. Marcy looked down at the book. There were some awfully big words. Can Jake read them with me? Asked Marcy. That's another question, Jake said, but he still grinned. They turned to the four questions page in the Haggadah and read them together. Why is this night different from all other nights? On other nights we eat bread or matzah. Why do we only eat matzah tonight? On other nights we eat all kinds of vegetables. Why do we eat maror tonight? On other nights, we do not dip our foods. Why do we dip our foods twice tonight? On other nights, we eat our meals sitting any way we like. Why do we lean on pillows tonight? When Marcy looked up from the book, everyone was smiling, and she felt very proud. Good job, said Poppy. Uncle Benji, would you please give us the answers to the 4 questions? But Uncle Benji was fast asleep. Oh, Benji. All right, friends, I wish you happy Passover. I'll see you tomorrow.